What's up, guys? John Kiper here, running for governor of New Hampshire. So this is a Fox News article. I think it came out today. Yep. The left's homeless plans wrecked our cities. Now help may come from an unexpected source. And this is basically talking about a case coming up April 22nd, I believe, in which the Supreme Court could decide that it is illegal to be homeless and you can be arrested for sleeping or camping in a city or a town. Now, the writer of this, which is, it's opinion, but he goes on to criticize Austin and San Francisco and other liberal, cities, which he's right. These liberal people are, mostly comprise these cities, and how their policies of basically allowing homeless people to camp there and allow people to, be under the influence of drugs in public has caused the decline of these cities. And, goes into some detail about the decline. Now, I will not argue with the fact that the homeless issue in San Francisco is bad and that the drug addiction is very bad. But I'm just going to actually argue with the cause of homelessness. Now, and this is really important for people to understand. The lack of the homelessness in San Francisco was caused by the same thing that caused homelessness everywhere. And it's actually not that hard to understand. It's simply a lack of housing. It's just a lack of housing. That's why there's homeless people there. Okay? And trying to blame it on anything else is really just not going to help us solve the problem to begin with. That's a big issue. So, and the cause of the lack of housing is NIMBYs, which means not in my backyard, people in San Francisco who have been blocking housing for years. And this is what you get. When you block housing, you get 10 cities. Okay, that's a direct cause correlation. Block housing, you get 10 cities. So yes, these people are to blame for the lack of housing, but it's not because of any other reason except for the fact that they block housing. Okay, that's it. So if you're a Democrat and you're also showing up to town council meetings or planning board meetings or alderman meetings and saying, I don't want that apartment building in my backyard, understand, you are part of the problem. Okay? You cannot be pro-housing and not support housing in your town or your area. You can't be against homelessness and not support housing in your town. It's not possible. Those two things cannot happen. So don't tell me that you're a kind, empathetic, progressive Democrat and then block housing in your town. You can't do both, okay? Homelessness is caused by a lack of housing, okay? And let's talk about the other thing that this guy talks about is, heroin and fentanyl addiction. And how that is a big problem. And it is clearly a huge problem in New Hampshire. We've got to understand one fact. The heroin epidemic was caused by OxyContin and Purdue Pharma and the greed of the people that own that company and by the complicity of the people who worked for them, such as, drumroll please, Cindy Warmington, who's running for governor of New Hampshire. Okay? She profited off of that company. She should not be running for governor. She will never win. So, it's very important that you remember who caused this housing and drug problem. Housing problem was caused by people not allowing housing to be built, and the heroin epidemic was caused by a big greedy corporation. Okay? That's it. Yes, we would have had a heroin problem anyway, but it never would have gotten out of control as it has now if we had not had Purdue Pharma and their greed unleashed upon our fine state. Okay, so it's just important that we assign blame where blame belongs. Okay, and I just gotta understand this is the headlines we're gonna keep getting until we solve homelessness, and it's just gonna drive people into the Republicans' arms. Okay, it's gonna push people to vote Republican, and if Democrats want to fight that mentality, you've got to allow housing to be built, and it's gonna be maybe in your neighborhood. Okay, but what's important is you've got input as to what the housing, what type of housing is coming in. Okay, if you don't want a homeless encampment in your town, then tell me what type of housing do you want? Thanks.